Muslims. What are you people talking about? How wicked could one be? You people are so wicked to the core. Wicked to the core. You see abomination going on before your eyes for years. Your radicalists have been buying Christians. Buying Christians. None of you said anything. You kept quiet. And now, they are buying the radicalists. You people are coming out online to rant. Before I used to love all my Muslim brothers and sisters. Your behaviors, some of you, your behaviors has really changed my mindset towards your religion, that the God you serve is a blood-sucking God. Blood-sucking God. It's not a normal God. It's not a good God. A blood-sucking God. A God that you will kill people for is not a God. A weak God. Because that is not the God of the Bible. I don't understand. You guys are there all this while. Christians are being quiet on daily basis. Chased out of their father's land. Chased out of their homes. You guys were quiet. You didn't say anything. And now, they are buying the radicalists. You are ranting online. You guys are crazy. You guys are evil. You are evil. In fact, if it's left for me now, and I agree, and I believe many Nigerians would agree with me on this, they should divide Nigeria. The Middle Belt is not part of the North. The Central, North Central, is not part of you people. So don't be saying this is part of North. It's not North. You're North, they're up there. Your North is up there. You, the radicalists that want to behave like Afghanistan, that want to live like Iran, that want to live like Afghanistan and Pakistan, that have no future. No future there. Because go online, go to YouTube and type in Afghanistan or street walks of Afghanistan and look at how the country looks like. No civilization. They are basically living like in the early 60s or 40s. They don't know what is happening in the outside world, and that's what some of you with your stupid Sharia laws want to turn Nigeria into. Are you guys crazy? Are you okay? Do we look like you? Do we talk like you? Do we even act like you? We are more intellectual than you guys. So how dare you want to Islamize Nigeria, want to turn Nigeria to an Islamic nation? That will never happen. Until you people stop with this nonsense, we will continue to have problems in that country. And to the Fulanis, you guys are not original Nigerians. You guys are strangers in Nigeria. So you cannot come to someone else's country and try to dominate those people. It is not possible and it's not done and it will never happen in Nigeria. Fulanis are not Nigerians. They are not original Nigerians. So when Nigerians are talking, you guys should be actually quiet. Keep quiet. When Nigerians, the original Nigerians are talking, I blame the houses, because the houses that allowed you guys to do what you're doing. And with all that is going on, it's about time that Nigerians reject any Fulani president in the country, because we can't trust you people anymore. Fulanis in higher position in Nigeria can never be trusted. Can never be trusted, because you people mindset is contrary to the mindset of other Nigerians, especially the south part of Nigeria. We want development, we want to advance, we want Nigeria to thrive, whilst you guys want to pull Nigeria backward to be like Afghanistan with your stupid, demonic Sharia law. So I thought to share this with you guys.
By Major General John Enenche, Pioneer Director of Defense Media Operations at the Defense Headquarters and former Commandant of the Army War College. Thank you very much, General John Enenche. You've seen, thank you very much indeed. You've seen what happened at Jabi, and we've also learned that there was another precision strike at the Tangaza community. What do you make of this development?
I am very happy about the development, in the sense that this is an issue we have been battling with for over 2 decades. And we now have a cooperation, we have an agreement of a country bold enough to come out and say, look, let us tackle this issue once and for all. Why am I happy? In the sense that we have lost so many souls. People died innocently. And we tried various solutions, diplomatic solutions, and all that dialogue, and among others, even to the extent of some people that we know going to bargain and talk with bandits, talk with terrorists. as if there was no solution, just like at the time a former president said that Nigeria's economic solution problem has defied all solutions, which we are seeing until today. I am happy because as a military man and somebody who fought in that area, but in the Northeast particularly, over 20 years ago, and I saw with my 2 eyes the casualty and the rate, and then the devastation that has happened over time. I'm doing a work now, and I see when I came to the portion of the casualties that have been recorded. Now I look at it because one security that affects all is a human security. It affects economic security, cyber security, and all that. Is a human being we're talking about human beings. And it's like we didn't have any solution. Now America has come out, bold, audacious. President Donald Trump came out and said, look, we're going to help you, we're going to assist you. Now you look at the cost of their investment in all this. I don't know whether we bargain with them to pay them something. No, I don't know. Sacrifice. So I'm happy because it is the beginning of the good things to come in this country.
Okay, you're so confident that this is the beginning of good things to come in Nigeria. You've also said, let's tackle this issue once and for all, insinuating that the involvement of America will put a lead on this. For some, they will disagree, saying this may be the road to Syria, to Iraq, to Afghanistan for Nigeria. Your response to that?
Our response in this kind of situation is always different as Nigerians. Where you expect the negative, you see the positive. They are the pessimists. Those people, I look at them as people as enemies of this country. Why didn't we look at what happened when we went to Liberia and Sierra Leone? Anywhere, Congo and all in those days, anywhere Nigerians cooperate and come together and agree on a particular thing, we always get the result. That is the point I'm making. Now we have agreed, the America has taken the lead for us. All we need to do is to follow up with the backup actions of taking ownership of our security, indigenous homeland security measures, put it in place, and then we are good to go. We can never, I can tell you that Nigerians can never, those people who are doing that are just instigating and insinuating people, and I want the government to take a look at them critically and put them to check, because from what you hear, that is what spans you into negative action. So I can say that confidently, this is just the precursor. This is the beginning, the first step. Now we are confident, and these bad people, I can tell you that they don't want to be followed. The staging area, the assembly area, that is precision, because there was intelligence shared, and I believe that because I'm privy to it, to some extent, and intelligence was shared, and you now got that location. As people are saying, where did we? No. The fact that the location was gotten from far away, Gulf of Guinea. Look at the capacity. Look at the weapon used. Do we have that capacity? So I can say that this is a beginning of the things to come, and then it will be tackled, because they will now hand over to us. They may not come foot on the ground, but we now have to do the foot on the ground. We have to put the necessary resources, and that is why all the state governors, local governments should now come in support of this effort.
And sorry, just a follow-up. You say they'll hand over to us when they leave. So when they leave and they hand over to Nigerians, don't you think that the usual Nigeria business as usual of failure would then continue? That is where the federal government, state governments come in now. What is the problem? Corruption, or whatever they say. We now have to tackle it, both of them alongside each other. Handing over in the sense, I don't even know when they will hand over. If you ask me, as long as this problem still let them remain, because we have hardened people, stubborn, in quotes, some leaders who just open their mouth and talk anyhow to instigate people. So any time that we work together and come to a meeting point, you will know it. It will be clear that look, the situation is now, okay for them to withdraw or to step aside. Let me rather say stepping aside, because I don't believe that America will now go completely with the way they have moved.
Okay, as a general, it clearly shows that you've confirmed the inability of the Nigerian military to tackle this threat. And also, when we look at it with the third eye of U.S. interest in the Gulf of Guinea, a lot of people come with the narrative of the U.S. energy demand and also the search for a market, which the Gulf of Guinea, including Nigeria, provides. So now, how sustainable is this U.S. precision strike? Because I want to assume this is just a pilot phase.
Yes, it is sustainable in the sense for two things. You have said it. Of course, from history and from what we discovered from our engagements abroad, particularly in Nigeria and among other West African countries, we don't normally put anything on the table as per what we gain. But a wise country will always put something on the table. A country that is economically wise and then also look at return on investment. Everything in life, most things are returns on investment. So if that happens, the relationship for me, it will last as long as possible. That is one. And even if they had put something on the table, not be made public to Nigerians, it's okay. There's nothing wrong in that at all. Then secondly, yes, we need to do also, we need to invest now and begin to put our house in order to be able to continue. Of course, like I said, it will be difficult for them to come and put, I don't see the sign coming that American soldiers will come and begin to do what we are supposed to do from bush to bush, like forest guard, the military, the vigilante and all. That is where we now come in as a country, as a people. Now there are technologies coming up which we should leverage on drone. There is one we are experimenting, so like I said the other time, since we introduced drones here, surveillance drone, those criminals have ceased from that place completely for about 6 months now, and it will continue. So we now as a people, governors and all, state government, local state security councils, we now come up with packages that are unfolding. Embrace it, then it can be sustained. Somebody comes to your house, help you to kill a snake. You now look out for what you will do to ensure that snakes don't come in again. And that is what we will do. And the measures are there. It is possible. If they will not hold on to resources, like the 19 northern states now, they say they'll be contributing 1 billion every month. That 19 billion can take care of commencing a drone station that has a capacity permitted by the NSA to do surveillance and also to do lethal attacks.
Okay, what do you have to say to actors like Sheikh Gumi, who vehemently oppose this, as well as the opposition party, the African Democratic Congress?
Well, I don't want to address personalities, but like I have said it loud and clear, any person, any group, whatever you are, and you are opposing this in there, you are anti-Nigerian, you don't love Nigerians. That means you might have not lost a loved one, or you are benefiting indirectly from what is happening. I will accuse any organization, any person, even if it's my brother, even if it's my wife, my children, I will accuse them without reservations. So I don't subscribe to that at all. What you don't have capacity, what you don't have the heart to do, somebody is doing it for you and are coming out, opening your gutter and then criticizing that person. It is wrong. Nigeria should take action against such people decisively. If you look at the list of 31 offenses that can be categorized as terrorism, look at them, item 21 and item 33. This is implied for anybody. So the government should not, the president has come out boldly to declare state of emergency. It will not be too much for him to come out. You are committing an implied offense as against counter-terrorism that has been reviewed. Take that person. And people will stop making inflammatory nonsense comments.
Okay, General John Enenche, you've said that any Nigerian that does not believe in this, because you have a firm belief that this would address the question of insecurity in the country.
Yes.
But some Nigerians will find your statement a bit equivocal and hypothetical based on the fact that the Nigerian government itself has been foot dragging on the issue of state policing, and also the question of when there was an abduction in Kebbi State, that up till now they are yet to make a pronouncement on who ordered the security detail away from the school just a few hours before the abduction took place. So when there is this deliberate hoarding of information and foot dragging on clear policies that would address these issues like state policing, what do you make of the government itself?
That is the problem that we have been battling with. Me and you, know. You talk about corruption. It's even possible the soldier or the staff center there was even compromised. It will not be the fault of the CDS or the chief of army staff. Is it not the children we have brought up? Is it not the system? Is the type of army you want, the type of system community you want? That is what, and that was what has been our bane in this country for long. So now, what I will say in addition to that is that, like I made the comment, we should make constructive contribution and not destructive. These people are destructive.
Right.
You know what you hear influences your action.
Okay. General, we were entering an uncharted territory with this. It's probably the first time this is happening in Nigeria, and some people view this as damaging to the perception of the Nigerian government or the Nigerian state and its sovereignty as weak. How would you respond to that?
Is it the first time that we have been damaged? Is it the first time? It's not new. They have categorized us as a corrupt nation, on which list it kept increasing as far as I followed up. So it's not new, but if such a thing will come, but at the end of the day, we save the lives of people being lost on daily basis. For me, it is good. Categorize us anything. Now, for instance, you now say Jesus Christ told the prostitute, go and sin no more. If now we are categorized, but at the end of the day, the end justifies the means. We get our people protected. I was just saying now to travel for Christmas problem and all that. And once we get that right, I can assume rightly that in less than 5-6 we are through and we are gonna. It's going to be a forgotten issue. But the most important thing for us, both the government and the populace, is to support this effort collectively, and then we stop this menace. Monstrous menace that we now, say people from outside the country. And what about our local people? What about the collaborators? What about the inflamers?
Okay. Just because you've said so much about your confidence in this exercise by
Absolutely.
the U.S. government. But now let's look at the post-U.S. strike situation. Because you talked about compromise when you were, does that suggest a confirmation of the infiltration of terrorist elements into the Nigeria's security and defense architecture? Because if that is so, how do we intend to consolidate on this U.S. strike given a highly compromised security and defense architecture?
What we should do, the government should do, is that no sacred cow. In the first place, once there is no sacred cow, I tell you that down the ladder, from the major general to the lance corporal to the private, it will be checked. If now, for instance, let me use myself as an example now. General Nenche come and then compromise, and General Nenche come and make a comment or whatever, destructive point, and then something happen, pick me up, take me out of the system. That's all. And once they see that the lance corporal, the sergeant will not do what if they are complicit of what we are assuming that they did. So that is the way I feel we should go. No respect for rank, no respect for position, for any name. Whatever the person is, heaven will not fall.
Sheikh Gumi has just sent a very strong message to President Bola Tinubu and the entire Nigerian government, telling them to immediately stop all military cooperation with the United States. And this is coming after what happened on Christmas Day. The prominent Islamic cleric from Kaduna made this statement on his Facebook page on Friday after President Donald Trump announced that American forces carried out airstrikes in Nigeria targeting ISIS terrorists. Trump said he personally directed these strikes against militants in northwest Nigeria, specifically in Sokoto State, claiming they have been killing Christians at unprecedented levels. The United States Africa Command confirmed that multiple ISIS terrorists were killed in camps located in Sokoto, and they said this operation was done in coordination with Nigerian authorities. The Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs also released a statement confirming the airstrikes happened and that they were part of established security cooperation between Nigeria and America. But Sheikh Gumi is not having it at all. He came out swinging with very serious concerns about what this means for Nigeria. The cleric argues that while Islam permits fighting terrorism, such actions should only be carried out by what he calls clean hands, meaning people with moral authority, and he believes the United States does not have this authority because of its global military record and history of conflict around the world. Sheikh Gumi warned that allowing foreign powers, especially America, to conduct military operations on Nigerian soil is a huge mistake that could backfire badly. He said terrorists do not truly fight terrorists, and that such interventions often result in civilian casualties and hidden political motives that nobody talks about openly. The cleric is particularly worried that Nigeria could become a theater of war if we continue down this path. He warned that United States military involvement will attract anti-American forces into Nigeria, which would create even more security problems than we already have. Think about it. If groups that oppose American military presence start coming into Nigeria to fight against American involvement, we become the battleground for conflicts that have nothing to do with us originally. If you are finding this information valuable, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel, because we are bringing you the real stories that matter and you do not want to miss any updates on this developing situation. Sheikh Gumi also raised concerns about the religious dimension of these airstrikes. He pointed out that Sokoto State, where the strikes happened, has a population that is over 90% Muslim, and there have been very few attacks on Christians in that specific region. He questioned why airstrikes were conducted in Sokoto on Christmas Eve while claiming to protect Christians when the real threat of attacks against Christians is happening in other places like Maiduguri in the northeast. The cleric said the symbolism of attacking a predominantly Muslim area on Christmas Day while talking about protecting Christians sends a dangerous message and could polarize Nigeria along religious lines. This is a sensitive issue because Nigeria has roughly equal numbers of Christians and Muslims living together, and anything that creates division between these groups is dangerous for national unity. Sheikh Gumi suggested that if Nigeria really needs foreign military assistance, we should look to other countries instead. He specifically mentioned China, Turkey, and Pakistan, saying these nations could provide effective military help without the baggage and imperial tendencies that come with American involvement. These countries, according to him, are more neutral and less likely to infringe on Nigerian sovereignty. The cleric also made a tactical point about fighting terrorism, saying that dropping a few bombs here and there cannot defeat terrorism. He stressed that effective counter-terrorism requires serious ground operations and believes Nigeria has enough military personnel to handle this if we organize and deploy them properly. Basically, he is saying we do not need foreigners conducting airstrikes when we have capable soldiers who understand the terrain and communities better than any external force ever could. This controversy raises important questions about Nigerian sovereignty and who gets to make decisions about military operations on our soil. Even though the government said they cooperated with the United States, many Nigerians are uncomfortable with foreign military forces conducting operations here without proper scrutiny. Sheikh Gumi even said this issue will become a major campaign topic for the 2027 elections, and he is probably right about that. Nigerian voters will remember how their leaders handled this situation and whether they protected Nigerian sovereignty or allowed foreign powers too much control. President Tinubu and his government now have a delicate balancing act to perform, maintaining good relations with America while also protecting Nigerian sovereignty and ensuring all Nigerians feel safe. What do you think about all of this? Should Nigeria accept American help to fight terrorism, or should we rely on our own forces? Do you have concerns about these airstrikes in Sokoto? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to subscribe to stay updated on this story, because we will keep following it closely.
It started with a statement from Washington. President Donald Trump, speaking with the confidence of a man who just authorized military action thousands of miles away, announced that U.S. forces had bombed Islamic State militants in Nigeria. The targets, fighters he claimed were killing Christians in the region. Back home in Nigeria, the response was immediate and divided. On Friday, Nigeria's Ministry of Foreign Affairs stepped forward with its own announcement. The message was clear. We asked for this. Nigerian authorities remain engaged in structured security cooperation with international partners, including the United States, the ministry declared, describing a partnership built on intelligence sharing and precision hits on terrorist targets. For the government, this wasn't controversial. It was practical. Terrorism has ravaged the Northwest for years. Bandits and extremists have turned once peaceful communities into war zones. If America's drones and intelligence could help end the bloodshed, why refuse? The ministry's statement painted a picture of a responsible government working within international law, respecting sovereignty while accepting help. They emphasized something crucial: all Nigerians matter. Terrorist violence in any form, whether directed at Christians, Muslims, or other communities, remains an affront to Nigeria's values, they insisted. It sounded reasonable, measured, diplomatic. But not everyone was convinced. By Friday morning, Sheikh Gumi had heard enough. The prominent Islamic cleric, never one to mince words, took to Facebook with a message that cut straight to the heart of Nigerian anxieties. This is the mistake Nigeria has made. His words landed like a thunderclap in a nation already on edge. Gumi's argument wasn't just about sovereignty, though he had plenty to say about that. It was about something deeper: trust, or rather, the lack of it. Terrorists don't fight terrorists in truth, he wrote, a skepticism dripping from every word. They may only kill innocent people and have ulterior motives behind the drama of fighting terror. The Sheikh pulled no punches. America, he argued, had no moral authority to lead anyone's fight against terrorism, not with its track record, not with its history of interventions that left countries worse off than before. But Gumi's critique went further. It touched on something many Nigerians whisper but few say out loud. What if this isn't really about fighting terrorism? When Trump specifically mentioned protecting Christians, alarm bells rang. In a country delicately balanced between a predominantly Muslim North and a largely Christian South, such language is dangerous. It suggests sides. It implies that some lives matter more than others. American involvement, especially under claims of protecting Christians, could polarize Nigeria along religious lines, Gumi warned. He painted a scenario that keeps security analysts up at night. What if Nigeria becomes a battlefield not just for local insurgents, but for international forces with their own agenda? What if opposing America means attracting America's enemies to Nigerian soil? No nation should allow its land to be a theater of war, the cleric stated firmly. Gumi did not just criticize, he offered alternatives. If Nigeria needs military help, why not turn to China, Turkey, or Pakistan? Countries without America's baggage, nations that wouldn't come with geopolitical strings attached. He also challenged the very strategy being employed. Airstrikes sound impressive. They make for good headlines, but do they work? Airstrikes alone cannot defeat terrorism, Gumi argued. Effective counter-terrorism requires strong ground operations. It's a point even military experts grudgingly acknowledge. You can't bomb an ideology out of existence. You can't drone strike your way to lasting peace. And so Nigeria finds itself at a crossroads, caught between two competing visions of security. On one side, a government arguing for pragmatism, for using every available tool, including American firepower, to protect its citizens. A government that sees international cooperation as strength, not weakness. On the other, voices like Gumi's, warning that today's solution could be tomorrow's problem. That sovereignty once compromised is hard to reclaim. That foreign intervention, however well-intentioned, rarely ends well for the host nation. Both sides claim to want the same thing, a safe Nigeria, free from the terror that has claimed too many lives. Both invoke the protection of innocent civilians. Both speak of national unity. Yes, they propose radically different paths to get there. As the dust settles, quite literally, in some parts of the Northwest, Nigerians are left with uncomfortable questions. Can you fight terrorism without becoming entangled in someone else's war? Does accepting foreign military help mean surrendering control of your own security? And perhaps most troubling, when your protector has their own interest at stake, whose security are they really fighting for? The Nigerian government insists it has its answers. It promises to keep the public informed as the cooperation continues. It speaks of strengthening domestic security institutions while maintaining international partnerships. But for critics like Sheikh Gumi, the very premise is flawed. You can't protect sovereignty by inviting foreign military action. You can't build national unity by accepting help that privileges one group over another. The debate is far from over. In fact, it's only beginning. What do you think? Is Nigeria making the right choice by partnering with the US? Or is Sheikh Gumi right to sound the alarm? This is more than just policy. It's about our future. Join the conversation in the comments below. For more in-depth stories that go beyond the headlines, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because understanding Nigeria means going deeper than the surface. Share this story with someone who needs to see it. Let's keep this conversation going.